Welcome back and Happy New Year. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas or holiday, depending on how you celebrate it. 2025 is right around the corner. I'm not too sure where the time went, which could possibly mean, and my wife would agree, maybe I'm just getting a tad bit older. All jokes aside, thank you guys so much for all your support. And for anybody that's new to this channel, my name is Jeff, and this is where I share my random passions with you guys. My passions for firearms, my passions for watches. I have a small watch collection if you'd like to check it out, and my passion for cars. I currently have a 2020 Shelby GT500 on the channel if you'd like to check that out. Today, we're going to have first mag impressions and my thoughts on the SIG M18X, and will I be concealed carrying this firearm. So first mag impressions, this is going to be a little interesting. It did catch me a little off guard, but in a good way. So let's dive into the SIG M18X, and let me give you my quick first impressions before the new year ends. And per YouTube's guidance, I have to disclose that all firearms on my channel have been purchased by myself, including ammo. I am not receiving any financial gain from any businesses or companies on this channel whatsoever. So let's dive into the SIG M18X, and let me give you my first mag impressions. And as we can see, the firearm is cleared. For those of you that don't know, I shoot an awful lot at Delmarva Clay shooting range, and we'll be shooting anywhere from 15 feet to 25 feet, standard ammo and home defense. If you're interested in that range, they also have range lengths out to 500 yards all the way back to 50 yards, depending on what you guys want to shoot. Absolute amazing range, to say the least. So the M18, this is the winning contract from SIG for the U.S. military armed forces, and so far it's being used in multiple branches of the United States Armed Forces as we speak. They decided to upgrade this platform to the M18X, where it includes the Romeo 17 enclosed red dot. It also includes a Coyote X carry grip, kind of like the P320 X5 Legion, minus the weight inside. So inside that grip, they call it the tungsten infused polymer. It's a weight. They have a weight inside there to make the gun heavier. This does not have that. It also comes with 3 larger magazines, and I included a standard magazine. As we said before, again, just to make sure we are cleared. So my first mag impressions, let's discuss this. This is the compact size and a 4-inch variant. They also have a full size as well. So my goal with this firearm was to potentially, if it shot well, I'd like to get hopefully out to 1,000 rounds before I decide to conceal carry anything. Spoiler alert, we got out to roughly 400 rounds. And my goal was to decide if I want to potentially conceal carry this. Having said that, with the X series, it comes with the flared mag well, which is absolutely amazing if you want to do reloads. However, you cannot fit a standard mag. So that is the reason why I do not have that on there right now. It's very easy to install and very easy to take off. So if you are going to conceal carry this, I'd highly recommend you taking this off, because I have a feeling that the larger mags are going to print. So, I mean, if you can pull it off, by all means, but for me, carrying roughly 3-4 o'clock position inside the waistband, this is the biggest signature that I would like to have while I'm carrying. Having said that, currently I am carrying the CZ Shadow 2 Compact, and you can tell the firearm is cleared. So if you'd like to see a full review on this, I'll put a link up here. It's been amazing so far. Currently, I have over 1,000 rounds and not one jam at all. So this is my concealed carry as of current. And if we're going to do some kind of a comparison as far as size, it's definitely thinner. Definitely less of a signature as far as thickness. But the length is about the same. So again, this is the compact size. And if you're wondering, this has also been in the rotation as well. And this is a Glock 45 MOS, which I've been carrying for years. So for comparison's sake, that is going to be slightly longer and a little bit thinner. So yeah, the M18X is going to be a little bit of a thicker platform. But so far, how did it shoot? That is the question, right? So shooting roughly 15 feet away on paper and steel, it shot very flat. It shot very flat, very soft for me. I was kind of shocked. Usually, I don't know. I didn't know what to think, to be honest with you, but it shot very flat. Now, getting used to the M17, it did take me a little bit to do so. This has multiple iterations as far as your red dot. It comes with a circle and donut, or just a donut. And I got to be honest with you, the clarity of the glass was pretty good. And look at that red dot. It does have a slight hue on the glass. That's for anti-reflection as far as I know. But one of the key things that I really enjoyed was there's no plate needed to install the red dot. And I would highly recommend you look at the SOP because it is installed from underneath as far as a screw. I believe that's a proprietary design for the red dot. And it's nice to know that you get to keep your rear sight as well. So it is a lower and 1/3 co-witness, or yeah, I would say lower 1/3 with the red dot as far as your irons. And it's nice to know that you don't have to have suppressor sights. Pretty cool, right? Red dot, no rear suppressor sight, standard sight. These are in tritium. That is pretty awesome. And also, you can get to your battery very easily. So the RMRs, at least the Gen 1s, you could not get to your battery. Though, you know, the battery life is going to last roughly 5 years or so. With the RMRs, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it's nice to know you can get to your battery very easily. Now, one thing I did notice when I was shooting this gun, which is not a huge deal, is getting my hand all the way up on the beaver tail as you should, and extend it out. I had to get my thumb slightly past this right here, so I had to get right about there when I'm shooting, just so it wouldn't hit, right? Not really a huge deal, it just comes down to training. The second thing I noticed is, and it's not a big deal for me because I usually press check, or I usually rack from the front, right? But if you're going to rack your firearm or charge it from the rear, you're probably going to hit that. So your adjustments for brightness or deciding which dot you want is going to come from your left-hand side. And when you're charging from the rear, there's a good chance you might hit that. So I recommend charging from the front. It's really up to you. Everybody has their own preference. The second thing I noticed right off the bat is how it felt in the hand. It felt very, very good. Now, whether you use the magwell extension or not, or the flare magwell or standard, it didn't really matter to me. I got pretty big hands. It felt really good. Now the trigger, this has got a nice trigger. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. So here's your take up. Your wall is right there. And there's your brake. Let's do your reset. Nice and audible. So it's not a lot of take up. No grittiness. I want to say it's probably about a 4.5 pound pull, and there is no safety. So with the M18 variations that are out in the field, they have safeties. Obviously, when my assumption is when the military is training, especially large sums of people, or anybody for that matter, you don't know when they're in basic training how much experience they have right off the bat. So being safe is key. So they're always going to have safeties, as far as I know, on their pistols. Guys, if I'm wrong, correct me, but to my knowledge, they're always going to have safeties. And in this variation for the M18X, you do not. So looking at this firearm in general, what are my first impressions? It feels really good when I'm shooting this. Again, I only have roughly 400 rounds to it, so when I get about 1,000 rounds, I'll let you know. Am I going to concealed carry this? As of right now, I'm going to say no, because I do have 2 guns in my rotation as we speak, and I don't know, I feel more comfortable with this as we speak. So I know there's a lot of debate on how safe it is to carry the CZ Shatter 2 right now. Everything I've seen and all the reviews I've seen, there hasn't been any kind of issue with this firearm discharging when it's being dropped. So I have my hammer in the second position. That's how I carry it in the 2-stage. That way there is some room between there and the hammer dropping. Hopefully nothing ever gets in there. I highly doubt it will, but that's how I decide to carry it. That is my choice. It's really up to you. And currently I'm still carrying on occasion, depending on what I'm wearing, the Glock 45 MOS. Will that change down the road? It might. It might change down the road. I might decide to carry this platform. I don't know. So, do you guys have any experience with the P320X M18X? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. So far, I am really impressed with the M17 Romeo, to be honest with you. I do like the fact it's enclosed. This is my first enclosed red dot I've ever shot. So I didn't know what to expect when I first started shooting this. I am really impressed with the fact I get to keep that rear sight. With the P320 standard models, you don't, right? So once you take off that rear sight, it's attached to the plate, which you need room for your red dot, so you don't get to keep it. Now, maybe that's changed recently, I don't know. But so far, I gotta say, my recommendations so far, I would recommend it. Is it cheap? No, it's not cheap. The red dot is definitely not cheap either, but it really depends on your budget. So looking at everything else throughout my firearms that I have here, if you guys are wondering, this is going to be the CZ Tactical Sport 2 in green. One of the best triggers I've ever felt in my life, and these are discontinued, unfortunately, and you can kind of see a pattern, right? The reason why I bring this up, because it was shooting this and a couple of other CZs, which will lead me to this. I mean, in my opinion, these are one of the best guns for the money you could possibly buy. I mean, there's a lot of other ones out there, staccatos and stuff like that, but in my opinions, I mean, this is like one of the holy grails for me. Amazing gun. And I've said it numerous times, all this stems back to the Canik TP9 SFX, 450 bucks. This is what got me into competition style pistols, and this thing is still shooting phenomenal. Thousands of rounds later. So guys, having said all that, I wish you guys a happy new year to come. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Like, share, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And give me your final thoughts on this quick review of the M18X. Let me know if you're going to purchase this concealed carry and how it's shooting. All right, have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys at the next one.